emotions are just they're truly messengers. They teach us, like, if we're neglecting ourselves, we'll feel depressed and lost and off in life. We're not looking after our needs and our spirit, like our spiritual work, so to speak, or our inspired expression or service. When we don't do stuff that's deeply meaningful to us or really important to us or passionate, we won't feel good. And that's the emotion telling us, hey, listen here, punk, you're off track. Get back on track, please, would you? And similarly, when we feel sad, it's an emotion telling us we stepped out of the love zone and we're off the track again of the love. Anxiety and fear. Anxiety is generally an emotion telling us that we're believing things that are out of alignment with our soul or our spirit, the deepest truth of ourselves and the deepest truth of the universe. Generally, especially, a lot of people are just thinking loads of stuff that isn't true or not important or not real, and as a result we're thinking anxiety. But there's also another form of anxiety where you just, like, I used to feel anxiety, like terrible anxiety. Like, I used to feel terrible, like, at night time thinking about going to school the next day, and that emotion was telling me, Owen, you're totally and utterly 100% abandoning and betraying your truth. You hate school, you shouldn't be going there. Do another form of learning. Or change school, change something about the situation, because what you're doing right now is you're miserable. It's terrible, it's not serving you, it's actually making you feel like really bad in life. So anxiety is another emotion to teach us about stuff. It's all about teaching us to become in alignment with our true self. You'll hear many spiritual teachers or whatever else, humans, talking about this subject of alignment. And for me, you want to, like, live in alignment with your spirit, your deepest truth is another way of saying it. So emotions are messengers. We should listen to them, and the same way the body gives us a feedback loop too. I heard from a channeled teacher one time that the best diet, they just gave us a simple answer, is to listen to your body. And our bodies will tell us what's good for us and what's bad for us. Also, we should listen to our bodies if we need rest or sleep, because sometimes we just keep neglecting and overriding our body with our mind, and that in the long run leads to adrenal exhaustion, and it also leads to neurotransmitter either depletion or else hormonal imbalance, and that can lead to feeling like unnecessary stress, feeling off or sad or down or physically tired, just emotionally and mentally and physically run down. So we should always listen to our feedback systems, and our feedback systems are our body and our emotions. So how many of us don't listen to our emotions or our body? I spent my whole life doing that, and I got really, really, really sick as a result, physically wrecked, and I also got just mentally and emotionally wrecked, really bad. So it took me until my mid-20s to listen to learn more about learning about my mind and how my mind was in a loop of itself, like a programmed sort of thinking about the future and past in a really weird way, not in alignment with my soul or my spirit. It caused me lots of unnecessary stress, just imagining all sorts of rubbish, and caused myself lots of unhappiness. And I'm only still learning at the moment to listen to my body and to learn what it wants and what it's trying to tell me. Learning how to rest, learning how to don't overdo things, and learning how to not overeating. I don't really do that anymore, but it took me a lot of years, like quite a long time really, like probably years, to try and slowly rediscover my body and learn about my emotions. Our emotions teach us how to love more, and it teaches us that we want and need certain things in life, and when they're not being met, things that are really important to us, we will have upsetting emotions. And the trick is, one, to learn and listen to our emotions so we can learn from them and understand ourselves. Like Socrates says, know thyself. And to thine own self be true. Love thyself, be thyself, know thyself. Just so powerful, those three little words. Know thyself, love thyself, be thyself. Once you know thyself, then you can start to love thyself. And you can only be thyself if you know yourself. Otherwise, you're being an imitation of what society or your parents wants of you, what the culture wants. So when we start or continue to abandon ourself or what's truly us, our uniqueness, what we want to do in life, and when we start living for the people, like what they want, studying things we don't want to study, going to a job and like all sorts of stuff. We study for years in school, things we don't want to do. 5 years people do, and then they never get that job. Like, it's okay. Like, we learn and we have an experience and we're still alive and we still live outside of the university or the college. But we're wasting so much time and we're sometimes just unhappy or bored. That's not a way to live, in my opinion. It's not the highest way anyway. I don't know what the highest way is, but I'm sure it's probably something got to do with being thyself and being true to thyself and being in alignment with yourself. Being in alignment with the peace and the love that you are. And there's so many distractions, like not to be thyself. Like everyone and the media are always trying to get you to do stuff or buy things. Or you have to be able to say no to the stuff that doesn't serve you or you don't want, doesn't make you happy, and to say yes to the things that do make you happy. So, emotions. As I said before, they teach us to be more loving and to try be more loved. They teach us when we're being treated in a way we're not being treated like we're worthy or what we deserve, we'll feel upset. Because at the end of the day, everyone, I find when I get upset, it's usually because I just want to be loved better. And you're probably the same too. 2 birds came along there a second ago. Like, it all boils down to, if you're loving me, I'm going to be happy. And if you're not loving me and being mean or thoughtless or uncaring or unkind in some way, if I feel you're not like thinking about me or caring, and same way like you, everyone, human beings, we just want to be loved. And we also feel great when we love. It doesn't feel good to be mean. And the only times we are mean is because we're upset and we're not getting our needs met or our heart's true desires for a long time. Like, so many people are just doing stuff in life that they don't really want to do. And like, it's just terrible for them. Terrible for everybody almost, especially for them. Like, I saw a quotation in a place nearby, which is really nice, called The Art in Chai. Happiness is when you're doing what your spirit really wants. Something like that. When you're living a meaningful life, what your spirit really wants, then you're going to be happy. And it's to help, and your words and your actions are helping yourself and other people. So everyone, I hope this video helps you to learn more about like emotions and also your body. So you can listen to your feedback systems. Like, anger is brilliant too. Anger, you're not supposed to act out on your anger and wreck the place or hurt other people. But anger is a messenger that, like, you're really not being treated good, or you're mistreating yourself too. Someone's either abusing you or stepping over your boundaries and not respecting your personal space, physically, mentally, emotionally, being nice. And there's the bird again. And you can also be angry that you let yourself down and you neglected or abandoned yourself too. So anger is a beautiful messenger to tell you to get into alignment again. It's like you're on the wrong road, get back on the right road again. So like, emotions are great. It's just like emotion, like energy in motion. It's a form of energy, it's moving. And we have to let the emotion flow. So when we suppress or distract or avoid our emotions, that leads to stagnation and not a flow, like a blockage, and that can lead to sickness, and it definitely and utterly leads to long-term unwellness too. Like, people die and get cancer and get like all sorts of health issues when they don't express their emotions in a healthy way. So the trick is to learn from emotions and express them in a healthy way that's constructive. And the number one like problem in communication in relationships is usually always communication. Like, people are not knowing themselves or understanding their emotions. 2, they're not expressing them in a constructive way for mutual understanding and mutual compassion and mutual connection and a greater ability to help love each other and look after each other and be nice and sweet and kind and considerate and everything else, mindful. So it's communication and self-understanding. That's what the trouble is in relationships most of all, usually. So, yeah, that's all I'll say really. So for one-to-one consultations, everybody, just have a look in the links below. And also for herbs that really, 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 really make you feel better in life. I can personally testify. I have a herb shop. It's called higherselfherbs.com, and you can see links and a few little recommendations below too. But click on the main website for a really big selection of super beautiful essential oils, herbs, superfoods and enzymes, detoxification powders and really nourishing powders for body, mind, spirit. So have a look there, and thanks everyone for all the love, support and sharing and all that nice stuff. And if you want to befriend me on Facebook or contact me, check me out below. All my details are there, and visit my website also for more information about me and to connect. Thanks everyone, have a lovely day, and thanks for your time and for watching, and take care. Gonna have some bananas soon. Looks like the